Welcome back to Mr. English Daily Pod. I am Sam.
And I am Alex. We're so happy to have you here with us today for another lesson of improving your English together.
Today we are talking about a topic that almost every student asks about. How can I improve my English listening skills fast?
It is a big challenge. Many students tell me they can read English well, but when someone speaks, they feel lost. Does that sound like you?
If you feel that way, you are not alone. Improving your listening is like training a muscle. It takes time, but there are ways to make it happen faster.
Exactly. And because we want you to be able to find this advice whenever you need it, please hit the like button to save this episode to your library.
And if you're new here, make sure to click subscribe and turn on the bell notifications. That way, you'll never miss our daily practice.
You want to understand every word you hear. We want to help you get there. So let's dive into today's topic.
So, Alex, let's be honest. When you were learning your second language, did you find listening difficult?
Oh, definitely. I remember watching the news for the first time. I thought I knew the language, but the speaker was so fast. I only understood maybe 10%.
Only 10%? That is really frustrating. What did you do? Did you feel like giving up?
For a moment, yes. I thought my ears were just not good at languages. But then I realized I was just trying to listen to things that were too hard for my level.
That makes sense. It's like trying to run a marathon before you can walk a mile. I had a similar experience with movies.
Movies are the hardest. There's music and background noise, and people use a lot of slang.
They really do. I used to feel so tired after just 10 minutes of listening. My brain felt like it was working too hard.
That's what we call brain fatigue. It happens when you try to translate every single word in your head instead of just listening to the meaning.
Exactly. But once I changed my method, things started to move much faster. And that's what we are going to share today.
Okay, Sam, let's start with the basics. Why do you think listening is so hard for English learners?
I think there are two main reasons. First is the speed. English speakers often connect their words together.
Connected speech. Like when we say want to, but it sounds like wanna.
Yes, exactly. If you are looking for two separate words, but you hear one sound, you get confused.
And what is the second reason?
The second reason is vocabulary. If you do not know the words, you cannot recognize the sounds. You need a balance of both.
So, how often should someone practice listening if they want to see fast results? Is 10 minutes a day enough?
10 minutes is a good start, but for fast results, I usually recommend 30 minutes to 1 hour, but not all at once.
Not all at once. So, you mean breaking it up during the day?
Yes, maybe 15 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes in the evening. It keeps your brain fresh.
That is a great tip. And what should people listen to? Should they start with the news like I did?
Actually, no. I think the news is too formal and sometimes too fast. For B1 learners, I suggest podcasts made for learners or simple daily vlogs.
I agree. Podcasts for learners are amazing because the speakers usually speak clearly, like what we're doing now.
Exactly. We speak at a natural pace, but we make sure our pronunciation is clear. This helps the brain map the sounds to the words.
So, step one for fast improvement is to choose the right level. If it's too hard, you'll get bored. If it's too easy, you won't learn.
That's the Goldilocks rule. Not too hard, not too easy. You should understand about 70 to 80% of what's being said.
70 to 80%. That way, you can guess the other 20% from the context.
Right. Now, let's talk about the second step, active listening versus passive listening. Alex, do you know the difference?
I do. Passive listening is when you have English in the background while you're cooking or driving. You're not really focusing.
And active listening?
Active listening is when you sit down and you really pay attention. Maybe you take notes or you repeat what you hear.
To improve fast, you need both. Passive listening helps you get used to the rhythm of the language. Active listening helps you learn new patterns.
I have a specific technique I like to call the three times rule. Have you heard of it?
The three times rule. Tell me more about that.
First, you listen to a short clip without any subtitles. Just try to get the main idea.
Okay, so just the big picture first. What is the second time?
The second time, you listen with English subtitles. You see the words you missed. This connects the sound to the spelling.
That is very helpful. And the third time?
The third time, you turn the subtitles off again. You'll be surprised at how much more you understand now that your brain knows what to look for.
That is a brilliant method. It really forces your brain to bridge the gap between reading and listening.
It takes more time than just watching a movie, but the results are much faster.
I also want to mention something called shadowing. This is when you listen to a sentence and you say it at the same time as the speaker.
Shadowing, like a shadow follows a person.
Yes, it helps with your listening because it forces you to notice the small sounds, the little words like or the or to.
People often ignore those small words when they listen, but they're important for the grammar.
They are. If you can say them correctly, you can hear them more easily when others say them.
So we have level choice, active listening, and shadowing. What about the speed of the audio?
That's a good point. Many apps let you change the speed. If a podcast is too fast, you can slow it down to 0.75.
I do that sometimes when I listen to very technical topics. It gives my brain an extra second to process the information.
But don't stay at slow speed forever. The goal is to move back to normal speed as soon as you feel comfortable.
Of course, you want to be ready for real-life conversations. People in the street don't have a slow down button.
I wish they did sometimes. Another tip is to listen to the same thing multiple times.
Repetition. People think it's boring, but it's very effective.
It is. If you listen to this episode 3 times, you'll remember the vocabulary much better than if you listen to 3 different episodes only once.
I totally agree. Your brain needs to hear a word many times before it becomes permanent.
Let's take a quick break from the tips and look at some of the phrases we used today.
Good idea. Our first phrase is get used to. Sam, what does that mean?
To get used to something means to become comfortable with it because you have done it many times. For example, it took me a month to get used to the loud noise in the city.
Nice example. The second one is bridge the gap. I use this when talking about reading and listening.
To bridge the gap means to connect 2 different things or to reduce the difference between them. Example, this course will bridge the gap between basic and intermediate English.
Next, we have catch. We often use this for listening, like, I didn't catch that.
Right. In this context, catch means to hear or understand something. Example, sorry, I didn't catch your name. Can you say it again?
Then we have fall behind. This happens if the audio is too fast.
To fall behind means to move more slowly than others or to fail to keep up. Example, if you don't practice every day, you might fall behind in class.
We also mentioned dive into.
To dive into means to start doing something with a lot of energy or focus. Example, let's dive into the next chapter of the book.
What about keep up?
To keep up means to move at the same speed as someone else. Example, she speaks so fast, it is hard to keep up with her.
We use the word context.
Context is the situation or the information around a word that helps you understand its meaning. Example, I didn't know the word, but I understood it from the context of the story.
And finally, brain fatigue.
This is a common feeling for learners. It is when your mind feels very tired because you have been concentrating too hard. Example, after a long English exam, I always have brain fatigue.
Okay, let's quickly summarize what we have discussed so far for our listeners.
Sure. First, we said you must choose the right level. Aim for about 70 to 80% understanding.
Second, use active listening. Don't just have English in the background. Sit down and focus.
Third, try the 3 times rule. Listen once for the idea, once with subtitles, and once more without subtitles.
Fourth, use shadowing. Repeat what you hear to improve your recognition of small sounds.
Fifth, don't be afraid to slow down the audio if you need to, but try to return to normal speed quickly.
And finally, use repetition. Listening to one thing many times is often better than listening to many things one time.
Now it is your turn to practice. I am going to say 3 sentences at a normal speed. I want you to try to catch every word.
I will repeat each one twice. Ready? Here's the first sentence. I'm getting used to listening to podcasts every morning.
One more time. I'm getting used to listening to podcasts every morning.
Now the second sentence. It is hard to keep up when people talk too fast.
Let's hear that again. It is hard to keep up when people talk too fast.
And the final sentence. I understood the meaning of the word from the context.
One last time. I understood the meaning of the word from the context.
How did you do? If you caught all the words, that's great. If not, don't worry. You can always rewind 5 or 10 seconds and listen again.
That is the beauty of a podcast. You are in control of the speed and the repetition. Now it is your turn to practice. I am going to say 3 sentences at a normal speed. I want you to try to catch every word.
I will repeat each one twice. Ready? Here's the first sentence. I'm getting used to listening to podcasts every morning.
One more time. I'm getting used to listening to podcasts every morning.
Now the second sentence. It is hard to keep up when people talk too fast.
Let's hear that again. It is hard to keep up when people talk too fast.
And the final sentence. I understood the meaning of the word from the context.
One last time. I understood the meaning of the word from the context.
How did you do? If you caught all the words, that's great. If not, don't worry. You can always rewind 5 or 10 seconds and listen again.
That is the beauty of a podcast. You are in control of the speed and the repetition.
We covered a lot of ground today. Listening is a journey, but if you use these steps, you will see progress much faster than you think.
Definitely. Consistency is the key. Even 20 minutes a day will make a huge difference in 3 months.
Before we go, we have our question of the day. We want to hear from you in the comments.
Today's question is, what is the most difficult thing for you when you listen to English? Is it the speed, the accent, or the vocabulary?
Please write your answer in the comments. We love reading your stories, and it's a great way to practice your writing too.
If you found these tips helpful, please give us a like to bookmark this lesson. It really helps our channel grow.
And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can join us for our next daily session.
Thank you for spending time with us today at Mr. English Daily Pod. Keep practicing and keep listening.
See you in the next episode. Bye for now.
Goodbye, everyone.